Okay, hey guys. Alright, this is PeauProductions. My name's Nolan. Looking at my blog here, basically recently I've done some 3D models in a program called Second Life, and what I'm going to show you right now is basically Second Life, and kind of explain a little bit of the techniques and move around a little bit and show you stuff. Anyways, so you can see here I got some pictures up on my blog at PeauProductions.blogspot.com. So that's what we're going to take a look at inside the game of Second Life. Give a shout out to nuigroup here. This is their main page. Got some good stuff there always. Forums at nuigroup.com/forums, where you can go and learn everything you want about optical-based multi-touch systems. Here's my thread post covering again the pictures that I took of the models that we're going to be looking at in just a second here, and you can check that out. It's thread number 4363, and here we are. This is basically what everybody's had to go on for now. It's a what it is it's kind of getting started. It explains all the different techniques, breaking it down and explaining it. FTIR, frustrated total internal reflection, diffuse illumination, etc., etc. Gives you a picture what the output of Tibeta or TouchLib or whatever tracking software you're using is and looks like. Gives you a parts list and breaks these things down. Basically, at the bottom here, then you have a comparison. A lot of people are always asking, what technique do I want to do? What's going to be best? Basically, we've broken down here differences between the different techniques, pros and cons between all the different ones. One of them that's not mentioned on here right now is LED LP, which I'll show you here in a minute, which is actually what I did for my first table. And turned out pretty good, which you can see on my blog. Alright, so we're going to switch over to Second Life, and here is the avatar of mine that has the Nui logo stuck onto the back of him, and basically kind of looks like me. Anyways, this is a mock-up of my living room, my real-life living room in this Second Life game. Basically, this is my DSi table that's going to be built. It's being built, hopefully fairly soon, and it's going to be used as a media controller inside my living room. Basically, it's going to have more of a media-based kind of apps. It's going to control our TV, which is a ginormous projector screen. Just to thought I'd throw some of my artwork on here. I do. Another hobby of mine is charcoal drawing, so just a couple pictures I put on here that you can texture anything you want in this game. There's me on the right there. Alrighty, so here we are. I'm actually floating. The living room I have here is floating. So anyways, you can so we can get up and Alrighty, so basically we can kind of raise and lower this. Everything is built. It's a huge building thing, so you can see actually all the different parts of this living room right now. The table, as you can see, has basically all the LEDs around it. This is going to be a DSi table, which basically has a projector here shooting up at a mirror. It's going to shoot another mirror and up at the table, theoretically, of course. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I have to still test that. But what you can easily do is you can edit the different links, and I can go in here and I can separate the different layers, and I can actually look inside and see what's actually all inside there, so you can actually see all the different LEDs. And I just threw some basic texturing on these things, but you get the point. It's just a mock-up basically, and the layers here are, of course, for a DSi setup is just the acrylic, and then there's a diffuser and stuff, and I'll show you those tables here in a minute. But anyway, so you can just kind of do that kind of stuff. So basically going to stand up here, and you can move around, and basically you can zoom all the way in, and you can actually become what your avatar sees. So I can look down inside my table and kind of do all sorts of stuff. Anyways, okay, so we're flying, so we're just going to jump off. Ow. Okay, so here we are. This is my model setup things here. We have basically built a ramp here, so it's really easy, and a big long showcase of a bunch of black boxes that kind of showcase the different techniques. So we're just going to go into my head here, and we're going to walk across and kind of explain the different kind of techniques. So first one we come to is frustrated total internal reflection, one of the biggest used ones around FTIR. Kind of just showing the different, you got, typically a Roscoe Gray is you're going to be your diffuser, compliant layer, acrylic, IR LEDs around the outside, shooting into the acrylic to create that frustrated total, to create the total reflection inside there, and then the hand, of course, comes down, and the webcam sees those blobs. That's what the output looks like. And so basically, just going through these, you got rear diffused illumination, rear DI, which has the IR LEDs down below, shooting up at the screen, and because it lights up your fingers, the tracker can pick up the bright finger touches or objects of some sort. You can use fudgicles or whatever kind of tags you want to use, and of course the webcam sees that again. And moving on to the next one, thanks to Alex P, we have the light laser plane, LLP. We got your IR lasers here with line lenses that shoot a very 1mm thick, typically IR light across a touch surface, comes down and touches it. One of the advantages, you don't need to use a compliant layer, and you also don't need to use anything that requires any extreme wiring configurations. A simple laser will do, which is really nice. And moving on, we have diffuse surface illumination, which is the table I'm going to be working on. Combines FTIR and rear DI, or DI in general, and to make basically an FTIR surface that doesn't require a compliant layer, which is a great thing because you can actually put a piece of glass on top, which is what I plan on doing, and have it just be glass, and then the diffuser, and then the acrylic. You do have to buy, of course, the expensive Enlighten acrylic, or basically any edge light acrylic that has microscopic mirrors of some sort that just basically fill the thing with light instead of working off of a frustrated internal reflection kind of thing that the FTIR thing does. Moving on, you got the one that is not talked about too much. It's actually what I worked with on my first setup, my little box, which you'll see in a minute here modeled. It's basically LED LP is what kind of call it. Side DI is another name for it, but LED LP light, basically has its FTIR, but instead of a thick piece of acrylic to create the frustrated thing, you basically have a thin piece that just goes down below and a diffuser underneath that, and then your fingers come down, and like an LP in the laser light plane, it breaks that beam of IR light. Now, it is a much thicker plane that's created with LED LP, but it works just the same. You don't get as accurate as LLP, but it definitely works pretty well. Moving on, we have Seth Sandler's famous MTMini setup. Basically, front DI. We'll herald here to the MTMini. Basically, it's front diffuse illumination. It uses any light source, typically in a room. Very simple to set up, as he's shown in a lot of his videos. And basically, it just requires a piece of glass or acrylic and the diffuser of some sort, usually just plain old paper, and that creates shadows on the surface, which is the opposite of what a rear diffuse illumination does, which creates bright spots. This creates shadows of touch. Moving on, we have some showcase things. We're going to just briefly explain each one, and I'm going to go down and actually look at them. This is Sarah Katz, who is Seth Sandler. This is his table, all the layers sectioned out. This is Alex P's original LLP wall setup that he showcased his LLP technique on. A more permanent installation. He had a previous one before this, but this is, I think, his more permanent solution. And then we have my DSI table that I'm going to be building right here, kind of broken apart like I've already showed you, and my LED LP table. So we're going to take a look, starting this and going back down to the left, kind of all the different ones here.